Well, conservative and evangelical heads are exploding because Candace Owens got fired for the Daily Wire. Their favorite, conservatives and evangelicals, they love Daily Wire. They love Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk. These are like their people. And it's funny watching their heads explode when Candace Owens got fired for, yeah, she was going after the ADL. Yeah, she was criticizing Israel for doing the genocide in Gaza. Yeah, she was criticizing Rabbi Solomon Friedman because he owns Pornhub, and Rabbi Shmuley because he sells dildos and lube with his daughter. But the line, what really got her fired was the whole Christ is King thing, and basically not backing down from Christianity and telling a member of the ADL on her show that his Judaism doesn't trump her Christianity. Um, and heads are exploding because all these people that are obsessed with Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, Matt Walsh, all these people, they don't they don't understand the why she got fired, or they're coping. They're saying it's because of Trump or contract problems. No, the real reason is because of the Crisis King stuff and the criticizing the ADL in Israel. And that's a line you're just not allowed to cross. And it's funny for one reason, because the right wing, quote unquote right wing, are the champions of facts don't care about your feelings, free speech, open dialogue, all these things, except when it comes to they have their own things that you're not allowed to talk about, that you're not allowed to criticize. And let me just give you some behind the scenes of how this grift works, because all you goys and Shabbos goys, you don't get it. So let me explain to the retarded evangelicals and conservatives how this grift works. Um, every major conservative evangelical Christian institution, Fox News, PragerU, Rebel Media, Daily Wire, all these, you know, the all these people, they're run by Orthodox, rabbinical, Talmudic Jews, and these people, and what the evangelicals and the Christians and all you goys don't understand is Talmudists hate Christians, and they hate Jesus Christ, and it's part of their in the Talmud where they are still trying to um, facilitate their Messiah, and they believe that they can't bring about this figure until they either completely destroy Christianity worldwide or control it completely. And they believe, in the Talmud, Jesus is son of a prostitute who went to Egypt and learned dark magic, and he was tricking people and mocking the Talmud and mocking the law and the oral tradition, and so he got executed. And his punishment, he's in hell boiling in shit, and him and all of his followers are an abomination. That's what they believe. And the funny thing is these stupid evangelicals and conservatives and all these Republican type people, they don't understand this grift. Like, they don't understand all they think it's all, oh, we're on the same side. All these Talmudic Jews are on the same side as the evangelical Christians, and we basically believe the same thing. They're the holy people, and we have Jesus. And not only is that not true, the funny thing is they believe that so wholeheartedly that you can't even, like, it's hilarious when, like, Ben Shapiro and all these people, they go on podcasts. Jesus Christ, he was executed for trying to overthrow the Romans. He was, a magical guy, and he was doing bad stuff. And yeah, they can tell them to their face like this: fire somebody for saying Christ is king, and they will still not let go of their belief. That's how deep the grift is. Which, it comes from, they think this is all, they're hooked into this whole, evangelicals primarily, a lot of conservatives, but most in the like, entirety of evangelicals are into this whole, they fetishize Judaism and Jews. It's like Jews are magical little elves that can do no wrong because they're God's chosen special people, and it's a Christian's duty to give them money and support them no matter what they do, and they can't be wrong because they're God's people, and they're so hooked into this belief, which by the way is only, this dispensationalism, what it's called, was invented in the 1920s by Talmudic Jews in a way to control the evangelical movement in the United States, of which it was entirely successful. But and they don't like they you and the how most hilarious thing is they can say it right in their face, and they just don't get it. They still don't get it. Like these goy, you just still you can tell them to their face, I hate you, and I'm going to control you and mock you and humiliate you, you know, in public, humiliate your God, humiliate your religion, humiliate your children. And they're like, oh, wow, would you like some more money? Where do I sign up? Can I listen to your podcast? Can I fund your movement? Do you want to send my son to Afghanistan? It's just hilarious how they can't see through it. And even though in their own, these people who are Christians, right? Even in their own teaching, no matter how much it's written all over their New Testament about how there's no special people, there's no special ethnicity, Jesus directly had conversations about this with Jewish leaders. I think it's what, John 8, Matthew 21. And how there's no chosen people, there's no special. Anybody who accepts Jesus is a person of God, and the people who don't are not. That's what it is in Christianity. But they're like, yeah, but the Jews are still the special people of God. And these hilarious Talmudic Jews have been so hilariously successful at ingraining this in evangelical heads that they can just openly, like, even there's so much cope around this crisis king stuff where you'll get people who, you got this guy who says he's a Catholic, Andrew Clavin, this guy at the Daily Wire, who's like, Christians, we might believe that Christ is king, but if you say it out loud or in the vicinity of a Jew, it's anti-Semitic. And, they don't need Jesus or God because they're already chosen. So actually, if you think that or believe that, it's kind of anti-Semitic. Just the a level of cope, because you can't, one, this belief has been so ingrained in their psyche, even though it's not in their belief system at all, but they just have adopted it. It's some dogma that's added in that they just can't get rid of. And two, they have to go along with it because all of their institutions, their church groups, things like Daily Wire, PragerU, Rebel Media, like all these news outlets, all these organizations are run by Talmudic Jews who hate Christians and Jesus Christ, and they always have to bend the knee. Like, here's how it happens. Anytime some conservative Republican evangelical gets any type of traction, you get a little phone call that says, hey, we notice you've been getting some notoriety. Would you like to take a trip to the Holy Land? And then they go take that trip to Israel and put on the yarmulke and saw, cry and French kiss the Wailing Wall, and go to Poland, do a tour of Auschwitz and stare at the floor and watch clips of Schindler's List. You know, it's a hilarious grift, and just getting them to humiliate themselves in public and bend the knee, and they get shown what lines they don't cross. And that's just how it works, and it's hilarious. So that's how these things work. So that's what the grift is. And so when you see these people's heads exploding, is because they're so, like, these people have been invested in, we're on the same side and Jews are just magical, special, chosen people of God. They've been believing this for so long, and they're so ingrained in this belief, like, and they can't just let it go, even in the face of things being like, Christ is king, saying, professing belief in your God is anti-Semitism, and they're still trying to justify it. Well, uh, Ben Shapiro, he's still our guy. He owns the libs. um, It's just hilarious, and that's how it works. You know, there's just lines you can't cross before you start getting canceled from PayPal, and that's just how it works. So Candace Owens, she's got a couple options. This is the only ways it can go. There's three ways it can go. One is she does the online Trail of Tears. You know, she'll have to tweet something like, just got off the phone with Ben Shapiro. Turns out it was all a misunderstanding. I've seen the light. You know, turns out I was wrong. He was right. You know, publicly go, you know, do a podcast tour where she fillets Ben Shapiro and metaphorically flogs herself and humiliates herself. You know, does some humiliation ritual about how, you know, how wrong she was, and how bad her belief was. Oh, she could do that. She can do the go the Elon Musk route, which is, side note, hilarious. Even the richest man in the world starts criticizing the ADL. Hey, the ADL's a hate group. And what happens? It's like, you know, in Lord of the Rings, when they're in Moria, you know, and the thing falls, the corpse falls down the well, and they start hearing the drums, dum 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 dum. That's like that's what you hear in the tunnels of Brooklyn when you start criticizing the ADL, and then all of a sudden Shabbat just starts popping out of the sewers everywhere and dragging you to Israel. That's that's what happened to Elon Musk. He's out there like, hey, you know, maybe the the ADL is a hate group. Dum 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 dum. Shabbat starts popping out of the tunnels. Hey, Elon, it's time. It's time to go to Auschwitz. You know, and they take him. Even the richest man in the world, they take him to Auschwitz. He's got to put on the yarmulke and stare at the floor and wander around and watch clips of Schindler's List and visit the gas chamber that was built in 1972. And oh, piles of shoes. Oh, baskets of gold rings. Oh, you know, he's got to go do the Trail of Tears, apologize to save advertising on his platform. Oh, Mr. Musk, you don't want to threaten your advertisers, do you? So, so the first option is the online humiliation. The second one is she's got to do the trip to Israel. She's got to put on the yarmulke, get on her knees, and French kiss the Wailing Wall in apology. Or the third option, which is she doesn't back down and you know, gets canceled off everything, canceled for PayPal, Airbnb, all the things, ends up on, you know, exclusively in Telegram groups or on Rumble, and then you know, and then if that, and then she'll get, then all of a sudden there'll be some allegation of her diddling somebody in college, and she'll get some court, she'll get the Andrew Tate treatment, you know, or anybody, you know, they get the allegations is the next step, and then it'll just grind her down slowly from there. So those are really her only three options. She can do the online, had a conversation with Shapiro humiliation apology. She can get on her knees and fillet the Wailing Wall in Israel / to her Auschwitz apology, or she can keep going and find out, fuck around and find out what happens if you keep going. Uh, but it's just hilarious. It's just hilarious to me seeing this grift and how these stupid evangelicals don't get it. Like they've adopted this dogma so hardcore that just, you know, the country of Israel is the God's chosen, and you know, Israelis, you know, they're, no matter how much they believe in the Talmud, they're the special, you know, they're the special people, and Jesus wants us to give them money so they can genocide Christian Palestinians. It's what our Christian God wants, you know, all this hilarious, all this hilarious dumb shit. And you know, it's an unbelievably hilarious grift. And these are the same stupid evangelicals, especially the boomers. Like every generation after the boomers, evangelicals are a little less into this shit, but especially the boomers. These are the people that spend, you know, they'll spend like, oh, they'll overpay like 15, $20,000 to do some Israel trip where they tour around all the holy sites. You know, oh, you know, even though Jerusalem was completely destroyed and Hadrian rebuilt it in 129 next to where Jerusalem was, oh, this is the holy city. And oh, this Wailing Wall that was built by Solomon the First during the Crusades, oh, it's the original temple wall of Solomon. Oh, and, you know, just overcharging them in some, you know, some hilarious Jew, bottles tap water and puts a Star of David on it and sells it to them for $100 each, saying it's water from the Jordan River to take home. Oh, here's we cut up an old raggedy tablecloth into strips and tell them these are special. Oh, these are special Jewish prayer shawls, and they're $100 each. And then buy ram's horns off Alibaba. Oh, these are shofars from the temple that are $1,000 each. And they love this shit, and it's on their centerpieces in all their homes. Is just this hilarious grift shit. I swear to God, if my business fails, that's going to be my grift. I'm going to go around from evangelical church to evangelical church all over the United States, just selling like yarmulkes with crosses on them. Like Alibaba ram's horns, gonna say it's shofars. I'm gonna get a bunch of like old raggedy bed sheets from Goodwill, cut them up into strips, and tell them it's prayer shawls. And just go around and make millions just grifting off of these absolutely retarded evangelicals. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna open a Holocaust museum and just get them anytime an evangelical or a conservative thinks about crossing the line or criticizes Israel at all. And I'm just going to make them do a tour and watch clips of Schindler's List. And I'm going to get like I'm going to get a piece of drywall, some old raggedy drywall, and tell them it's a piece of the Wailing Wall and make them get on their knees and put on the yarmulke and French kiss it and cry. Oh yeah, that's gonna be the grift. Yeah, I'm gonna open up a traveling Holocaust museum, town to town, selling, showing clips of Schindler's List, making them get on their knees and French kiss a piece of drywall while they pay me $1,000 for some for some prayer shawl. Oh yeah, that's my backup plan business. Oh yeah, but I mean, that's the grift. That's how it works. So anytime you see this shit, and it's hilarious that and I'm explaining this because no matter what, like you still fall for it. You can't not fall for it. Like you're so hook, line, and sinker into this belief that literally I can even now explain to you how the grift works, and you're still not going to change. You're still going to be like, oh, that's a weird perspective, but you're still the chosen people. Here, would you like my money? And I'm going to take your money and I'm going to loan it back to you with interest. Oh, yeah. That's how it works. That's how this grift works. So that's why, and it's not going to end with Candace Owens. It's an election year. There's going to be somebody else is going to start quote, quote, noticing, and then they're going to get the treatment, and then they're going to do the Trail of Tears in Israel, or, oh, I take it back. It was all a mistake. I got off the phone. I had a phone call with Ben Shapiro, Rabbi Shmuley. I did a podcast with Solomon Friedman, and he showed me the error of my ways. Please forgive me and give me a little bit of your money, please. Oh, I want more debt. I want more loans. Please forgive me, Israel. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's how the grift works, and that's what's here. And the funny thing is, even though it's blatantly right in your face that all of your quote quote Christian evangelical conservative movements are all run by Talmudic Jews who hate you and your religion, you're still going to go along with it because you just can't help yourself. And they love the grift. It's like they love almost more than they like Christianity. It seems like they love LARPing as Jews. Like their favorite part about Christianity is like waving around an Israeli flag or wearing some fake yarmulke or having some like olive oil, some shit quality olive oil that they got from Israel that's got a Star of David in it, says it's anointing oil or some stupid. It's just like, yeah, it's just some seed oil for cooking that's in a little jar with a Star of David on it. And they're like, oh, this is anointing oil that I got at the Jordan River near Jerusalem. And oh, it was such a glorious trip. And it was only $300 for this little. Oh, yeah. It's just such a fucking funny grift. And what makes it even funnier is not just the grift in itself, it's that you can be like Ben Shapiro and all these people, they're in your face. They're not hiding. Like, we can be as open as we want, and the goy still just go along with it. You're just like, yeah, sure, sounds good. Hey, we think your God is in hell, boiling in shit. We hate you. We want to control your institutions and make fun of you and humiliate your kids and get you enslaved into debt and loans and get you hooked into all this materialism. And you're like, oh, sounds good. Sign me up. Where do I sign? And yeah, that's the grift. So that's what's happening. And it's not like I said, it's election year. So between now and November, there's going to be somebody else is going to start piping up, and they're going to get, they're going to hear the dong 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 from the tunnels, and Shabbat's going to pop out of the sewer and drag their ass to Auschwitz, drag their ass, drag their ass back to Jerusalem, make it do a trail of tears. Oh yeah, but that's the grift. So I explained it, and now you know, and you're still going to go along with it anyway because that's how these things work.
Another bit of old news, but kind of ties in to this whole topic, is, a month ago, or, yeah, I think a month ago, maybe more, but Jacob Rothschild died. And the funny thing is, there's all the outrage out online about, oh, the Rothschild family, and fuck that guy, and Illuminati, and they're destroying the world, and, all this, oh, they've, enslaved in the federal government, the federal bank is not a federal bank, it's a Rothschild bank, and all this stuff. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the Jacob Rothschild hate because the truth is, specifically Americans love Jacob Rothschild. He should be on the back of money. He should be on T-shirts. Americans, you people, love Jacob Rothschild. And the reason is, and you're like, oh, no, we don't know, he enslaved. What Americans love, more than anything, is debt. Nothing gets an American going quite like loans and credit cards and payment plans and financing everything. Americans are just little debt goblins. And you wouldn't be able to fund your ridiculous lifestyles if it weren't for Jacob Rothschild. You wouldn't be able to get, you complain about, oh, the economy and all this stuff. Only in a Jacob Rothschild world could you, with a $40,000 a year salary, get 8 credit cards and be able to rack up $100,000 in debt in online shopping, or new trucks, or vacations, or whatever it is that you're getting into debt on. That wouldn't exist without Jacob Rothschild. So you actually love Jacob Rothschild because you pretend to hate it, but you really don't. You love debt. You just swimming around all day, credit cards, loans, debts, and people complain about the economy, and I say this all the time. Back in 2008, people who lost their house, um, Americans, never once has an American gone into a bank and said, hey, I make $45,000 a year. To be responsible, I only want to spend, 28% of my monthly income on a mortgage. What is an affordable option for me and my family? Maybe we can get a fixed rate. Just get what's decent that I can afford for me and my family. No, not one. Every American goes in the bank and they say, how much can I get? What is the maximum, based on, here's my salary, here's my credit score, what is the most amount of money I can get as a loan to get a house? And of course you can't pay it because you make $30,000 and you get a $600,000 house. You buy a $600,000 house, and then you complain that the banks fucked you over when you can't make the payments. You're all leveraged up. There's this illusion of ownership that Americans have where, oh, I own my house. I bought a house at 21. I own this. You own nothing. If you put 0% down on a 12% interest mortgage or something, you don't own that house. Even if you put 10, 20% down, you don't own it. What you do is instead of renting from a landlord, you now rent from a bank where your rent increases over time and your lease is 40 years instead of a year. That's what you don't own the house. Same thing. Oh, I bought this car. No, you didn't. You pay $800 a month to borrow it from the dealer. Because even if you try to sell it, it depreciates in value. And guess who you have to pay back that difference? The dealer, the bank, whoever loaned you the money. That's who's got to get their money back. So you don't own anything. And actually, and for all the complaining that Americans do about, oh, debt and the economy and this, that, and the other, you don't actually want the system to change. Because no American has gotten a raise. You know, the average American's, what, $50,000 in credit card debt or something? None of these nobody who's making $40,000 a year, who's got, $100,000 in student loans, $100,000 in credit cards, not one of them, not one of those Americans gets a raise of like $5,000 and says, hey, you know what I should, oh, wow, that's a great, I could use this money to pay off more of my debt. Nope. What do? Here's an extra $5,000. How do I leverage this into getting more debt? How do I turn that, here's $5,000. How do I turn this into a loan for $50,000 so I can take some ridiculous vacation? So I can go to Miami and post it on my Instagram. None of you actually want the system to change. What are you going to live within your means? What are you going to be? What are you going to be debt free? No, you don't want to live in your means. No American wants to live in their means. Every American wants to get as much debt as possible to live a most extravagant, shallow, materialist lifestyle as possible, and pass all the responsibility on to their kids. That's what generations have done since the boomers. We're going to do whatever we want, and we're going to die with a whole bunch of debt and problems. We're just going to pass them off to the next person, like a relay race. So that's what Americans want to do. They don't want to change the economy. They just want it to work for them. The Fed prints money. It's $30 trillion in debt. They're just printing money. Well, if you're getting some of that printed money, they wouldn't be complaining. Americans, you just want the system to work for you. You don't care that it's broken because you're not going to change anything about your lifestyle. What are you going to do, fix it? Like I said, what are you going to do, live within your means? No. Any ounce of fresh air or money or anything you get, you're going to immediately trade for more debt, more loans. It's a lifestyle. I got to get the new this. I need a new truck, and I need a new house, and we had to re-landscape the yard, and we had to take this vacation. Debt, loans. Americans are just little debt goblins. That's what they love more than anything is debt. So I don't get the hate. When the Queen dies or someone in England, these royals, and they have some giant motorcade where they stop traffic on all these roads, and they parade the hearse around, and people clap and throw flowers. When Jacob Rothschild died, they should have had a motorcade from Portland, Maine to Los Angeles, going through every major town in America where all the debt goblins could clap, give standing ovations, and throw flowers on the hearse. Oh, thank you, Mr. Rothschild. Boy, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to get 9 credit cards and finance a flat screen TV. Oh, thank you, Jacob Rothschild. I wouldn't have been able to buy a bunch of clothes for my Instagram on a credit card if it weren't for you. Oh, thank you, Mr. Rothschild. Without you, I'd have to live in my means. What am I going to only make $45,000 a year? Preposterous. I want to make $45,000 a year and live like I make $200 and just rack up a bunch of debts. And I'm not going to pay, and I'm going to complain that it's these dirty banks that did it. All they can do, I think I'm going to make shirts. That's actually my other business. After opening up the Holocaust Museum and shilling shofars and prayer shawls to retarded evangelicals, my next business is selling Jacob Rothschild t-shirts. Because he really is. He is an American hero. He should be on Mount Rushmore. He should be, ironically, well, maybe not ironically, but he should be on money. Unclipped unridged coins. They should come out with a quarter. That's a deep joke. Most of you won't get that, but they should come out with a quarter that doesn't have a ridge around the edge of it, and then put put Jacob Rothschild's face on it. Bring back coin clipping. Oh my God, that's gonna be on the shirt. Jacob Rothschild, bring back coin clipping. Yeah, that's what's gonna be. That's what's gonna be on the shirt. Because I don't get the hate. All you people complain, and you love debt. You love being in debt. You're never gonna change your lifestyle. You just hate the system when it doesn't work for you. If you're getting rich off of, you think if you had a money printer like the federal government, and all these Americans that complain about Biden and where they're this guy doesn't run T-shirts. All those people, they had a money printer like the Fed in their basement. Would they be complaining about inflation? No, they would just be stuffing their pockets with fake money. And actually not using that money. They take that money immediately and figure out how to leverage it to finance something bigger. Because it's never enough. It's always, even the people, even the rare people that make $100,000 or more, what do? They leverage that to live like a millionaire. No American lives in their means. You're just debt goblins. And so actually, Jacob Rothschild is an American hero. He funds your lifestyle, so I don't get the hate. You guys need to back down and appreciate Mr. Rothschild for what he did for you. Because he is the source of all this lifestyle that you want to have. And as long as you define your life by materialism, he's your guy. The problem, and that's, everybody trying to live like a hustler. All these people, I work 9 to 5, I don't fuck a 9 to 5. I get up at 4 in the morning and cold plunge and listen to Gary Vee on 2x speed. All this dumb shit. In my life, I've met a lot of millionaires, a couple billionaires. You know what not one of them has ever said? That the reason they're a millionaire or a billionaire is because they listen to Gary Vee. Or because they get up at 4 in the morning and do a cold plunge. Or they, got some purple face like these gurus because they're doing, doing all these backdoor supplements and shooting TRT into their dick. These people, none of them have attributed their success to that. Because the truth is, there's a hard pill for you all to swallow. The statistic is like, only 5% of people in the country make over $100,000 a year. The problem is every guy thinks they're part of that 5%. You're not. The people who are millionaires and billionaires, they just are. They don't listen to Gary Vee. They don't need motivation. They don't got to listen to podcasts on 2x speed. They don't join some pyramid scheme or day trade crypto, which, by the way, the average day trader, I think in a year, makes the same salary as a manager at a McDonald's. So it's not day trading, it's not crypto, it's not, I just grind and I wake up at 4 and I trade and then I go to one job and every hour in my world is a day in everybody else's world, so I'm just 10xing everything. 10x. No, that's not how it works. They're just people who, what they do, what these billionaires do? They sleep 9 hours a night and they play golf. You know why? Because they just are. They just are what you're pretending to be. And that's a really hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. You know why you're not in the NBA? Because they're guys who are a foot taller than you and can dunk and can shoot. They're in the NBA. And no matter how hard you practice, I get up and I shoot free throws, I shoot baskets at 2 in the morning, I work really hard. It doesn't matter. You're trying to be what they already are. Let it go. A lot of you will be a lot happier in life once you let go of, if you're actually living your life on really what's inside of you and makes you come alive and is really sort of your gift to the world, and you stop basing your entire life on needless materialism, you'll be a lot happier and more successful and have a much better experience in life, but you're going to have to let go of these dumb fantasies. And the problem is everybody's like, well, yeah, what I really love is gardening, Or what I really love is, you know, being a cowpoke. I just going out there, I just love being a handyman. But I need to have a jet. I need to have multiple properties. I can't just be a handyman. I got to franchise. I got to have 10 trucks. I got to, grind set mindset. I got to expand. We got to be nationwide. No, you don't. Those people, they just are. They don't need the motivation. You're going to be a lot happier in life once you accept where your range is. Do what you do and be yourself. Stop trying to be somebody you're not. You're not you're not a hustler, you're not a grinder, you're not some top 2% earner. And that's not how you should measure the worth or the quality of your life. It should be based on your unique skills and abilities and how good you are at manifesting those and working in those. That's how you're going to find true happiness. But as long as you base it on materialism, it's never enough. You will always be hungry. What's that old? I think it's like some Buddhist proverb or something where the guy goes to, he can eat anything he wants. He can snap his fingers and have any food he wants, but he's always hungry. That's what it's like. If you are a little debt goblin and you live your life based on materialism, that's what your life is, and you will never be happy, and you will never be enough, and you're going to die miserable and sad because your whole life you're never going to be satisfied doing the things that you love because you're always going, I need a jet. Well, I need to fuck more chicks. I need more properties. I need more money. I need more designer stuff. I need fancier truck. I need a bigger this. I need a better that. Um, if that's how you dictate your life, which is most Americans are just that, it's all they pretend, like with the Jacob Rothschild thing and the economics and all that. They pretend it's one thing when really it's just no. You're debt goblins and you love debt and you love materialism and you just fucking can't wait to sell every single part of yourself possible to just get more debt and more things. And until you let go of that belief, realize, yes, you will die never having been on a private jet. You will die never having driven a Lamborghini, or a Bugatti, but you're going to be much happier in life. Let that shit go and just live your life. Be yourself. Stop trying to be something you're not. You're wasting time. You're wasting money. Everybody who says they're an entrepreneur is like doing 8 different Uber Eats jobs, gambling on crypto, living in a basement somewhere. And they've got like $60,000 in credit card debt. And it's not on anything profitable. It's on like shoes, a hatchback BMW, and, gold AirPods or something. Like, it's all worthless. And these people are just like hilariously pathetic. But that's the lifestyle. That's America, baby. And so if you really want to get out of that, which is, let's be honest, nobody, because Americans don't want to change their life. Nobody wants to change their life. They just want the system to work for them. And they're not interested in changing. However, if by some fucking miracle you happen to be somebody who wants a different life, let it go. Just let all that materialism live within your means. You don't need a bunch of credit cards. You don't need to run up debts, live in an abundance mindset. Just let it go. Just be yourself. You'll have a much freer life if you're debt free, doing what you love to do instead of getting in a crazy debt trying to be something you're not, or prove something to somebody, or live some fantasy that you have in your head where, oh, I'll be fulfilled. Hey, if I get a jet and a big house and a big ass truck and take all these vacations and I'll be happy then. No, you won't. You'll be miserable and owned, and you'll you'll be sucking dildos in Diddy's lair. You're getting spit roasted in the caverns under Epstein's Island or something. Um, it, it that's where your life is. So just let it go. But most of you, that's not how it is, and that's not how America works. So all these debt slaves, I just want to stop the complaining, guys. You love Jacob Rothschild, you love debt, you love materialism, and that's also what I can't. What's the hilarious irony about all these like red pill podcasts? Oh, the red pill, and all they do. It's funny. So all they do is they have these OnlyFans girls on and just like stump them. So a value of a man, or wait, so a woman should do this, or you have 100 bodies. What is that? Do you want your daughter to know that you have 100 bodies? And the funny thing is, one, all these dudes claim to be like based Christian conservatives, but they're making money advertising OnlyFans. Like the advertisement to their podcast is the OnlyFans girls, even if it's to own them or roast them or show how dumb they are. You're still using the OnlyFans girls to promote your podcast, and that's all it is. And also, all these girls they have like, anytime you see a clip of these shows, they got like 15 OnlyFans chicks there. I don't know who any of these girls are. You know why? Because I'm not on OnlyFans. I'm not just like scrolling porn jacking all day figuring out who these people are and inviting them on my podcast. For like for as much as they claim to be like Christian, anti-porn, conservative type guys, they sure do spend a lot of time finding these OnlyFans chicks, perusing OnlyFans with a semi-hard dick. Oh, honey, it's for work. We just have to find these OnlyFans chicks to, because we're going to bring them on the podcast and make fun of them. Hey, honey, why is your dick hard? Yeah, it's for work. Honey, it's work related. These evil porn, I'm not into porn. It's bad, but, I have to, for work, I have to find all these OnlyFans chicks so we can roast them and prove how bad their lifestyle is. It's just, these guys are just, like, hilarious. And the other thing is, like, not only is it hilarious, just the irony of them claiming to, like, oh, we're against porn, we're against bodies, and all they do is peruse OnlyFans to find these chicks, and then the only promotion of their podcast is the OnlyFans chicks. Um, the other side is the argument is pointless, because it's like I've been saying with the debt and with complaining about the Rothschilds and complaining about money and complaining about the economy. They, like, their morality in America, morality is not based on things that are good or evil. Morality is based on money. If it makes money, it's good. If it doesn't make money, it's bad. The best things make the most money, and the worst things make the least money or no money or cost money. That's the moral compass. So that's why anytime you ask them, oh, do you're basically a prostitute. Is that healthy? And the answer is always, I bought my mom a house. I make 100 grand a month from this. What are you telling me? It's bad. Like, look at all the things I can do. I drive around, I fly around in private jets. I have a driver. I have some penthouse in South Beach, Miami, because they're all in Miami, let's be honest. But, it's but that's the moral, and they're trying to make moral arguments like, oh, humiliating yourself, engaging in a humiliation ritual, and just on camera for a bunch of guys and, whoring yourself out, is not good for your soul, is not healthy. That's what would classically be called sort of a moral argument, a spiritual argument, sort of a classical healthy versus unhealthy lifestyle argument. But today, nobody cares about that shit anymore. It's all about if it makes money or not. You can be a horrible piece of shit, but if it makes money, you're good. So that's why they're like, there's no problem with my lifestyle. I make money. I'm rich. Like, rich equals good, poor equals bad. Oh, if, volunteering at a soup kitchen is helping the local community, but that's fucking sucks because it doesn't make any money. What are you doing, you fucking loser? Oh, but I can, have a bunch of dudes, I can just lie there and have a train of dudes jacking on my face, but, I make $100,000 a month, so that's fucking great. The morality is completely inverted and twisted, and there's no argument to be had. So all these podcasts and things are pointless, because if your life is based, which most of Americans are, I mean, they're little debt goblins, so it's all based on money and getting money and more debt. So if that's your moral compass, your entire worldview is inverted, and there's no argument to be had, because fundamentally, you can argue about things constructively if you fundamentally want the same things. You can be in different political parties, but you both want the best for your country, and you want the average man to do well, so you can have a constructive argument because you disagree about how it's done. You can't have an argument about somebody who doesn't, you know, who doesn't even fundamentally believe the same things that you believe. You can say, like the political party example, you can say, hey, we believe different ways about getting it done, but we both want the average man to do well. We love the country. We want to do well. We just disagree. There you can have two sides and have constructive arguments. And in the end, the people who benefit are the people out of that. You can't have an argument politically if one person says, hey, I love this country. I want the average man to do well. And the other person says, I hate this country. I want the average man to die in a ditch, and I want to take everything that they have for myself. You can't really. There's no argument to be had because fundamentally, your worldviews are inverted from each other, and that's the same thing with the materialist argument. So that's why I don't argue anymore socially with all these like debt people and hustler people and all these OnlyFans chicks everywhere. There's no argument to be had. I just say, go debt slave, go. Go debt slave, go. Let me loan you some more money, you stupid goy. Yeah, take it, take it, take it. Owe me money. Oh yeah, yeah. I bet I bet you bought a jet, huh? I bet you bought a new car. Yeah, yeah. Get more debt. Yeah, sell yourself. Humiliate yourself online. Yeah, parade around. Get, you know, destroy your soul. Get, have for eternity. Have you getting spit roasted on camera? Do it, do it, do it. Get more debt. Buy more things. Do it. Because that's what you are, and that's really what that's what people, that's what they have inside of them.
Let me add though, because in all these podcasts, the Red Pill, where they got these OnlyFans girls podcasts, basically, where they just bring on these OnlyFans chicks and try to roast them and stump them and show them how ridiculous their lifestyles are and how entitled the modern woman is and all this stupid shit. These, all these Red Pill channels are exactly the same as these OnlyFans chicks. Like Fresh and Fit, whatever podcast, all these so-called like Red Pill, Manosphere, Rollo Tomasi, like all these gurus, they complain. Now, there's always a hint of truth in all these things. Like, yes, do men have a lot of legitimate grievances? Yes. Do men get clean out in divorce courts? Yes. Like, are a lot of things in the school system and life stacked against men? Yes. But they take these legitimate grievances, and their solutions are always the same material, soulless shit as the OnlyFans chicks. Like, they'll make fun of entitled OnlyFans chicks for saying, oh, the bodies, they just want money, they're just hypergamy, all this stuff. Okay, Mr. Red Pill Manosphere Guru, what's your solution? Well, the solution is join my pyramid scheme. Here's my coupon code. Here's my pyramid scheme. What you're gonna do is, you're gonna join my pyramid scheme. You're gonna hustle, grind, get up at 4 in the morning, cold plunge, gamble in crypto, and then you're just gonna fuck a bunch of college chicks forever because women suck and you can't get married, you can't do all that. They're just as shallow. And all these guys, all these like supposed red pill guru guys, like this guy Rollo Tomasi is like the quote godfather of the manosphere movement. Whatever Tom Likas or whatever in the early 2000s, like all these guys that have these red pill channels. These are all dudes who are like middle aged, divorced losers. Like Rollo Tomasi is like a 55-year-old guy that wears costume jewelry and a do rag. At no point in your life should you be taking advice from that guy. Just objectively based on that. No guy, you shouldn't be able to look at a guy with a straight face who's got costume jewelry on and a do rag, you know, who's like, listen, here's what you need to do with your life. Immediately, that guy's out. But aside from that, their story's always the same. It's like they got married young and they were a little simp and their wife didn't like them and she cleaned them out in divorce court and now they're in their late 40s, early 50s, and they're just dating like sad, confused college girls on apps or escorts. or all these, they go, ooh, you have to get a, American women are just so masculine energy. They go purchase some chick in Thailand or mail order some, Ukrainian bride whose family got blown up in Kharkiv, so now she's for sale on the dark net. You know, like all these guys, they're just as pathetic as the people they make fun of. Like, yes, all these entitled chicks are annoying and exhausting, and you can't deal with them. These guys are the same. These dudes who are fucking losers. Like, honestly, these guys are losers driving around, at pushing 60 in their mid 50s, late 40s, costume jewelry, driving a sports car in the middle of winter with the top down, just like, I got up at 4 in the morning and I did a cold plunge and join my shit coin and buy my pyramid scheme. Here's the coupon code to subscribe to my whatever, be a no, don't be a beta online course for $9.99. All this dumb shit. They're just as pathetic as the people they try to make fun of, and they're the same person. Like the chick that excuses her behavior is, well, abundance mindset or self care or I'm living my truth. Those guys make fun of that. They are the same. They're also like living my truth, like all that dumb shit. They're exactly the same person. Um, and so it's, I think they're both equally pathetic. And it's funny when people get hooked into one of these and they don't see it. Like guys get hooked into some like manosphere shit, and then they start like, and then they're like, yeah, and then this, and then women this, and then yeah. Maybe they point out some legitimate grievances, but then it gets to like, women suck. You got to go to Europe and get some, you know, East Bloc chick who can't speak English, who came here in a shipping container. You know, you know, you got to join a pyramid scheme. You can't work a 9 to 5 because that's what betas do. You know, again, it goes back to and all you're doing is just building up credit card debt, building up debts, joining pyramid schemes, gambling on crypto with your future, and, you know, fucking endless confused women. None of them have any positive. None of these guys ever, you've not heard from any red pill guru that they have a healthy relationship with their children and they can have a functional, healthy relationship with a partner. Not one. None of their solutions are, here's how to, pick the right person. Here's how to have a healthy relationship. Here's how to have a healthy marriage. Here's how to have healthy kids. Here's how to have a healthy family. None of that shit. No. Their solution is just, you know what? If you engage, you're going to get fucked over. So, what you need to do is fuck them over first. Make money in a pyramid scheme. Get up at 4 in the morning. Drive BMW sports car. Fuck random sluts. Purchase a wife from Southeast Asia. It's a real weird, but they're the same person, and it goes back to the same. Their base is still. They can complain all they want about female hypergamy. They're just as materialistic as these chicks, because again, it's all built on image and lifestyle and needless material pleasures, and so they're still, the, they're there are some subtle differences, but fundamentally they believe the same things. It's all about material and debt and all the other things. Like that's how they live their life, and that's what their morality is too. Oh, it's bad to do this. The good is being a 6-figure earner from crypto. That's what's good. Yeah, yeah. It's all just soulless dumb shit to get you into more debt, and it's a pyramid scheme which they're using to then, in charge of a pyramid scheme, which they use all the profits to leverage to get more debt for themselves. It's all just continues on and on and on. And, but yeah, there's something else I was going to say about this abundance shit, but I forgot. But it all ties back. It's the same shit. They're the same person. Abundance mindset, OnlyFans girls. It's all the same. It's all your fundamental belief. The American is a dead goblin, and your morality is materialism. And whether you say you're a red pill guy or you're an OnlyFans chick or you're some abundance healer, you know, it's whatever your grift is, the core of these people, they're all the same person. just in different forms, because the message is the same. Live for yourself, have no legacy, get a bunch of debt, do what feels good, you know, do what thou willst, keep going, you know, it's complain when it doesn't go your way, but if it's all going your way, why would you complain? On and on and on. It's all the same. It's all